Hello and welcome to Coffee with Kirti again. Today we have somebody who has really done a lot of good work in the digital marketing world. He's had more than one decade, more than a decade's work to his credit, and I have seen him in so many different ways that he has helped so many different companies, with their search engine optimization, with their real good conversions. People talk about digital marketing, but do they really convert? We don't know that. But we have somebody who has really done that and who has really delivered what he promises. So today we have with us Gajanan Sapate. Gajanan, welcome to Coffee with Kirti. How are you doing today?
Doing great, and thank you for such a wonderful introduction, Kirti. It's an amazing day.
Thanks so much. Thanks that you are with us. I'm really happy, and I'm sure a lot of digital marketers who are going to be watching this video, this content, are really going to be amazed to see what you have done so far. So to start with, Gajanan, I would like to know about I know that you have three different companies, three startups you have founded. Social Champs, you're the founding partner at eSherpa and also to Roots. So let's start with your, the most heard company, Social Champs. How did you start this? When did you start this? How this idea came to you, and where is it today? In terms of the journey, we will talk about what you do at Social Champs, but the journey. How does one start a digital marketing company?
Mhm. So I'll talk about my journey probably a little before Social Champs, and then I'll try to connect the dots of
Okay.
how the idea came in
Okay.
picture. So basically,
Okay.
I'm a biotechnology graduate.
Oh,
I was a
wow.
kid who was not very clear about what he want to pursue as a career, but one who was very curious to learn. Right. So
Okay.
certainly we were very clear from the beginning, me and a couple of my friends, that we want to get into maybe a business or maybe an entrepreneurship, something of our own. Not really sure about
Uh-huh.
what to do. So during those days of college, when we were doing biotechnology, we were thinking of starting a research lab of our own. But
Oh,
things
wow.
changed, and we got into MBA, and again, not a very thoughtful decision. Uh, After getting into MBA, we started actually our first venture with a couple of friends. It was called
Okay.
collegecover.com. The
All
idea was
right.
very simple. The idea was to have khabris in colleges who will send us
Uh-huh.
covers, right? So
Interesting.
andar ki batein, basically something which doesn't come out well, right? So we started with 4 5 khabris in 2007, and by
Okay.
2009 we had almost like 4,500 khabris in all IITs and NITs of India,
Wow.
and it turned out to be India's one of the leading student-driven platform, right? And we were kind of most sought destination for placement-related information because it was all
Oh, wow.
coming from student. I mean, it was like
Mm-hmm.
by student for student kind of a thing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Amazing traction. This loyalty was very good. We were getting close to 20,000 plus student visiting the website every day. Uh,
Wow.
it was as a first venture along with college, it was really a success, but in terms of the maturity of thought process, we're not very clear about the revenue models, right? So we're primarily
Mm-hmm.
relying on the Google ads kind of revenues or ad based revenues,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a sustainable model. And
Mm-hmm.
then college, post college, we all got good placements, and then we thought of running it as a sideline venture, doing our jobs. And that's where probably things shaken, because once you're into job, we could not give 100% to college cover. But then
Correct.
I got an international scholarship. I went to Europe. I worked
Oh,
there for
wow.
almost like a year with a market research company,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back to India. So I had a,
Okay.
opportunity from Vodafone from a college placement, but I decided to basically not to join that, and rather start my own company, because College Cover had given that kind of thought. that I can do.
The
Probably.
entrepreneur's kida.
Correct. So then I started actually another company, and that was again a very interesting thought of basically offering alumni management as a service to colleges. That is a very
Okay.
big gap. It's still a big gap because a lot of institutes are not able to handle their alumni professionally. I mean, there's no
Correct.
neither from the technology standpoint, nor from the process standpoint, nor from the accountability standpoint. There are a lot of
Correct.
gaps out there. So we spent
Absolutely.
close to 8 months doing a lot of research to understand the scenarios, meeting with a lot of institutes, and we actually designed a very nice system. So it was a SaaS-based platform. We called it Campus Beats. So we started with Campus
Okay.
Beats, but then even though there was a very good response from colleges, every college, like we had the first sale with Symbiosis main campus in Pune,
Oh
but
wow. Okay.
we later realized that the decision making in college is very prolonged. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
I had earned or saved in my Europe stint, I had actually invested there. And I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
from a middle class family, so there was
Mm-hmm.
a education loan and all those things, and I exhausted all my money, and
Correct.
there was a lot of pressure coming from the family and stuff. So then we
Right.
decided to not to continue with Social Champs, and then decided to got into job. And then something beautiful happened. I got into a very nice company called Articamp.
Mm-hmm.
Articamp is it's a Pune-based company. They're into WordPress solutions.
Okay.
So I joined there as a digital marketing manager for their products. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I realized that probably I can contribute because company was in the early stages of its growth. So I thought that probably I
Mm-hmm.
can also contribute into the sales department. So I asked my boss, Mr. Rahul Bansal, he's a very known personality by now. So
Mm-hmm.
Rahul sir said that okay, you can definitely get into sales, and I worked in sales for 6 to 8 months, and we had a very good response. We built up a team, and then I
Okay.
felt that okay, I can do something more than that. So then I got into process
Okay.
management. I got into HR part a bit. I got into project management as well. So I basically
Okay.
played my role in every department of company because that was coming because I always considered that my as my own baby or as my own company. So I always wanted to contribute wherever
Okay.
I can, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one very good thing which I learned in that company is a mindset of offering solutions,
Okay.
because everybody else when they're offering a website, Articamp was offering a solution which was very much tailored to understand what your business demands, and then
Mm-hmm.
basically consulting and guiding you that how to achieve that as a solution, right? So after
Right.
18 months of my work experience there, I somehow started feeling that probably I never wanted to get into job. Otherwise, Vodafone would have been paying me better money, right? So I had a
Right.
discussion with my boss that I said I probably want to do something, and he again encouraged me. He said that okay, I'll give you 1 year official leave,
Oh wow.
and you try your luck. If it doesn't work, you come back, and if you need any help, I'll always be there. So I had a very
Wow.
good backing, both uh, mentally as well as I was kind of very secure, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then actually Social Champs was started
Mm-hmm.
almost on the same lines of the way Articamp was working, the previous company was working.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we decided to focus on solutions in digital marketing space. Now, when we started in
Okay.
2011, it was quite early days of digital in India,
Mm-hmm.
and that too probably we were among the very few companies uh, across the globe, I must say, that who were offering digital as a solution, not just as a marketing thing. The moment
Okay.
you have a solution mindset, your perspective changes of how you look at things, right?
Right. Right.
And we did very interesting stuff with social media channels. So for example, we created a support system for African mobile companies. So instead of dialing 1-800 number to raise a support ticket, dial 1, dial 2, dial 3,
Okay.
how about you just tweet
Uh-huh.
it, the support ticket is generated, and it becomes
Oh
very
wow.
easy, right? So this is a solution, right? So we had a lot of this kind of interesting solutions we designed,
Okay.
and we started getting a good traction because we had
Okay.
this early mover advantage as well. uh,
Mm-hmm.
Social Gems was a bootstrap company. I mean, we started with absolutely zero investment. Me
Okay.
and my partner, we started with our
Okay.
own room, single laptop kind of an arrangement. We started building a team of interns in early days of Social Jams. We very rapidly grew. In 6 months, we had a team of 24 plus interns from, and then we were
Oh
recruiting
wow.
interns from primarily IITs and NITs because a good
Wow.
talent was found. But then as the teams
Right.
started growing, we realized that it's difficult to manage because interns have their own
Hmm.
time limitations. They
Right.
cannot be available
Right.
on the same time, right? So
Correct.
from process management perspective, it was getting difficult. And then we took a decision in
Right.
2012 to move out into a office space actually. So
Hmm.
then we started in a 2 BHK apartment with a basic some rented furniture kind of a setup to begin with.
Okay.
Again, we never
Okay.
invested. So we whatever we earned, we invested to grow. So we never
Okay.
borrowed money from parents or from anywhere else. We were
Right.
not coming with that kind of philosophy, right? So
Right.
it started growing good in 2013. We actually got amazing break. We got to work with
Hmm.
some. Uh, Now I cannot take the names because of non-disclosure terms. But
Nice.
we work with
Right.
one of the biggest names in Hollywood industries,
Wow.
the biggest stars,
Wow.
and we did
Right.
some very ahead of time work into sentiments analysis kind of things, which was
Mm.
again in 2012-13, that was way ahead of its time in India. And
Hmm.
we did
Hmm.
some real good job there. We got almost like 18 celebrities
Oh wow.
from United States who worked with us for a duration of close to 2 years, right? And that was the time we actually built our infrastructure, team recruitment and stuff. So we became a team of 25 people.
Okay.
Till 2015, we had a focus on international market because when we started in 2011, India was not a market for digital at all. I mean, it was very difficult to
Correct.
convince people to go for digital. So
Right.
hence we started with the US, UK kind of markets. Till
Okay.
2015, I must say that 90% of our revenue was international and 10% was
Coming from
domestic.
overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
But then we realized that we were losing the game in India because a lot of new small agencies, startups started coming in. They had real
Hmm.
big accounts with them. Uh, and then
Hmm.
we thought that we should not be missing on domestic market, and we decided to put our focus on domestic market. So since then we
Okay.
changed a lot in terms of process and focus, and we acquired
Nice.
some very good names. Like we started our the very first big account, I must say, is CP Plus. It's India's largest CCTV brand.
Wow.
We did the entire debut of the brand on internet. uh, Quite a good success there.
Nice.
Then we got a lot of big brands, some Fortune 500 brands we work with, like Sandvik, S3. Sandvik, we have handled almost the entire Sandvik Asia for quite a long time. It's
Wow.
still a good client of us, right? So now probably the transition has happened so much that probably the domestic revenue contribution is now close to 70% or more, maybe, right?
Hmm.
Uh, in this journey, we also realized that because the market is getting very competitive out there.
Hmm.
So we thought of
Correct.
not to offer a vanilla offering what everyone else is offering, just doing social media
Correct.
or offering packages
Correct.
kind of a thing. So we always refrain from offering any packages and do no fixed
Okay.
deal. It's
Okay.
always a solution. So
Okay.
we have started giving a lot of focus on consulting, helping
Okay.
businesses and modeling
Got it.
their business and kind of a thing. So yeah, good journey. No,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of good stuff in that. As a student, you started out college khabri, and then you started out campus beat. You brought in that your European experience also, and then you went to RT camp, and your boss being so supportive that he knew that you might turn out to be a competitor going forward. He still supported, and I've met him earlier, so I know he's a really really awesome guy. And I think the journey is there's a lot of peaks and valleys there, and I think for somebody who wants to start something, right? For people who are doing their digital marketing courses, either they're doing it online on Udemy or somewhere, or they're going to a institution to learn. They all have this one thing in their mind that how is this really going to help me, right? How is this how am I going to turn this into a career or into something that I would love to do in future, right? Because it on the surface, digital marketing looks as if it's just Google ads or Facebook ads or something like that. But tell us something, how within that journey also you pointed out quite a few things, but I would like to know, if somebody is wanting, if somebody is already doing a course, or if somebody is learning on their own digital marketing, what is the way forward? How should they plan their career? What should they do in terms of starting a digital marketing company or whatever, in
Right.
terms of mostly the digital stuff?
Correct. So, see that the way digital has grown in India, it has grown at a very remarkable space,
Hmm.
and because of that, the the adoption of digital is more than marketing, and that's very unfortunate. What I'm seeing
Okay.
out there in industry, the
Okay.
students are being taught uh, only digital, which is basically the technical side of it, which means that how to
Uh-huh.
use Facebook or how to use YouTube, what all features are there in Twitter and stuff, right? I
Right.
mean, technically
Right.
they are being taught, be it on Udemy, be
Mhm.
it on the coaching institutes out there, but very few of them are actually
Right.
putting a lot of emphasis on making them understand marketing element of it, or
Uh-huh.
the applied usage of their skill sets, right?
Okay.
Now what's happening is, in this factory environment, the students who are coming out are very good uh, to execute an instruction given, but they're not
Okay.
able to think. They're not able to think because they are not fundamentally understood the concept, the applied usage of things, right? So
Right.
my recommendation to students out there, if they're listening this, is focus a lot on understanding the applied usage of what all concepts being taught, right? Put a lot of
Mm-hmm.
emphasis on marketing first, because we are calling it digital marketing. It's marketing is the first thing, and then digital has come later, right? So
Correct.
understanding
Correct.
audiences, understanding audience behavior, customer segments, all those things are
Correct.
crucial to it, and that's being ignored.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Great. Great. I think you pointed out one of the most important things, that people forget to really look into the why they're doing what they're doing, right? Because
Correct.
at the end of the day, if you're not converting, if you're not making a creative or an ad or a campaign is not converting into the deliverables, then it's of no use. You can be tactical, you can have all the technical knowledge, but if it's not bringing money to the client, then client is going to pay you for this campaign, but they're never going to come back to you, right?
True.
So
True.
tell me about that. Social champs, you guys have I think more than 500 clients, and
Yes.
in 20 countries, in 20 countries. So tell us about that, of how you guys were able to get 500 clients. It's a big number. And how are you serving them? What is different that you are giving? You already told us that you're not giving them packages, but you are doing solutions. So
Correct.
how is that you got hold of 500 people,
Mhm.
500 clients? How did you reach that number, and how are you serving them?
Right. So see, when the journey started in 2011, we started primarily with some of the contacts I had in Europe, and we started a
Hmm.
bit on the freelancing sites. Like we used
Okay.
to have freelancer.com and Upwork and all those
Hmm.
freelance and all those
Correct.
things.
Correct.
But gradually, over the period of time, we started getting a lot of references from the existing client. We still get a lot of
Okay.
references from existing client. Uh,
Okay.
being I mean, having that early mover advantage in 2011, we got automatic traction. I mean, because the work was good, we were doing things which were getting a lot of visibility, and we from early days we kept some part of our focus always on building brand social champs, not always just working for a client. I mean, that's most of the companies do, right? They ignore serving themselves. And all those things actually helped in early days to get us client, and then it's organically started growing. In terms of how we made our offerings different is because of our solution seeking mindset. And I'll give you a story to better understand how does it work.
Okay.
Right. So I'll not name the client.
No.
But but I'll tell you the story. So it's coming from a sweet shop in Indore.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a story which is very easy to relate to for the audiences out there. So it's a sweet shop in Indore. They came to us with objective of doing Facebook marketing. So they said कि Facebook marketing करना है, तो we said कि क्यों करना है? And they said कि यार footfall बढ़ाना है. तो then we said कि क्यों बढ़ाना है? तो he said that footfall बढ़ेगा तो revenue बढ़ेगा. So we said कि ठीक है, revenue बढ़ाना है या footfall बढ़ाना है? So we said कि revenue बढ़ाना है, right? Now this is something to understand what client want. Now client wanted to increase the revenue. Now there are multiple ways client can increase revenue, right? So footfall is one way. Probably if we can have maybe a bundled offering of products, revenue can increase. If we can have maybe increasing the radius, if people are coming from say 2 kilometer radius, if we can aim to go and get people from 3 kilometer radius, revenue can increase. If we can have home delivery, revenue can increase. Right? There are multiple ways revenue can be increased, right? So then we further asked him the question that what is your definition of growth? So how do you see you growing in the coming years? And he was kind of not really clear about it. Because like any traditional business owner, the way the growth was thought is to have as many clients as I can get in my store, right? He could not think beyond. So we then consulted him. We said that what if we have a very larger vision of growth? And how about not selling in 2-3 kilometers of radius, but to sell maybe across the globe? And he started laughing. He said, "Yaar, main Haldiram nahi hu. Why people will buy from me, right? If I sell offline." So we said, "Yaar, there's no harm in trying." And after a lot of convincing, he agreed, and we agreed with his one product. We said that okay, we'll do a quick pilot, 45 days pilot with one product, and we'll see how people respond to it. So we created a very lean, simple one-pager e-com website listing only one product, and that product was Gajak. It's a North Indian sweet. अभी गजक का कैसा रहता है कि नॉर्थ इंडियंस को बहुत क्रेविंग रहता है, स्पेशली इन द विंटर सीजन, एंड दैट इट्स मेड फ्रॉम जैगरी एक्चुअली, गुड़ और तिल से बनता है. तो I was in Rajasthan for almost like 15-18 years of my life, so I know the craving I have for gajak, but I don't find it here in Maharashtra very easily, or even if I find it, it's not as authentic as it was there, right? And we knew that this is again a gap every North Indian across India would be needing that thing. So we started doing a campaign targeting all the North Indians in different parts of India, like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, and stuff, Pune, Mumbai, and stuff. And we started getting an amazing traction. Within 15 days of taking the campaign live, we started getting daily orders of 15,000-18,000 rupees.
Oh, wow.
No, it was probably more than the revenue of store with one product, right? And suddenly the definition of growth changed for the client, right? And then we started taking more products, started scaling the brand, and now we talk in the lines of, can we go beyond India, right? So that's a perspective change that comes with asking right question and consulting him right. Instead, if we could have just done Facebook marketing the way he wanted us to do to increase the footfalls, what we could achieve would never have happened, right? So that's a mode of operation at Social Champs, that consulting client, telling them the right way of moving forward, and that's how we do our jobs.
I think it's a super story, Gajanan, because a lot of people are just waiting for the client to come in and just make that payment, and give them the run of the mill solution or package that we have this already. We just have to scale it up. Client is just another number for me, so let him pay, and the interns will take care of. That's how most of the people think, right?
Mm.
But you guys, I think the reason that you guys have really grown so well, I think that's because stories like this, that where you really get into understanding the client so well, understanding why revenue, matlab revenue आना है तो कहाँ से आना है, कैसे आना
Correct.
है, all of that, those important questions are being asked
Correct.
now. uh, and I think that also justifies why you've been awarded so many things. I was going through your bio and I saw you've been awarded for the best digital marketer by World Digital Congress,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Uh, and also the smart digital marketer, not just for 1 year, I think consecutively 2 3 years,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So the awards are happening, clients are coming in, you're serving them all good, and everything is happening. What is out there in terms of competition, in terms of you there's always a point in the journey wherein you see or you realize that we've been doing this for some time now, and we also kind of need to do more than what we are doing today.
Correct.
So how is competition playing in the digital marketing space? One thing, and follow up question is, how are you guys tackling? How are you guys going that one extra mile for your clients?
Right. So it's a good question. I think the way competition is growing is kind of a worry, not because it's creating a competition to us, but because the way my industry is going, it's kind of getting commoditized. It's getting commoditized because the way people are selling digital
Hmm.
has created a very different market, right? I mean, a buyer is so confused these days. He don't really understand what's right for him, and he
Right,
end up buying something which is not right, and conclude
right.
that probably digital does not work for me, and that
Hmm.
is uh, something which hurts more
Right,
when I look at it.
right.
uh, I think for us, the only way we are differentiating is to have a more consultative approach, following some very
Hmm.
standard strategy frameworks to ensure that we are delivering what is right for client. A lot of work is being done on process side of it to deliver a good experience to client.
Hmm.
And a lot of innovation is being also done in defining the services constantly. So I'll give an example here. Uh,
Okay.
we have been working with a lot of startups across the globe. And
Okay.
then I've seen, and because I have incurred a lot of losses in some of my ventures before, so I've seen startups losing money because of some not so right approaches they take, right? So
Hmm.
we introduced a very innovative service called for startups called Idea Validation Service.
Okay.
Now, the idea validation service is basically for the entrepreneurs who are just at idea stage. Now, before
Okay.
really investing in developing a product or a prototype, or before really doing all those hard works behind that product, how about just validating that idea at that stage itself, right? So,
Hmm.
for example, selling the product at idea stage. Um,
Okay.
if people are buying it, and then probably we can validate all the assumptions you have, right? So assumptions can be
Right.
anything like people will buy my product because of X feature, Y feature. So really trying to sell this product for ABC features and see which feature is actually accepted more. Are people willing to
Right.
pay the pricing I'm putting? So before really designing that
Right.
product, and we have done it for a lot of clients now.
Okay.
response is so amazing that without really investing much, startups are
Mhm.
able to understand what is going to be a fruitful thing for future. So, for example, I'll give an example, again, a story of. So, we started working with a brand from US. They are developing a AI-driven recruitment engine. So,
Okay.
the idea is that. Uh, so the way so currently what happens is that, let's say you're looking for a job, you'll go on naukri.com or monster.com, you'll put up your resume, company will look at the resume, they'll give you a call, and then you'll have a
Right.
thing, and if you see that both of you see that it's a fit, probably you'll join the job or
Right.
they'll hire you, right?
Right.
But what happens is there's no mechanism to define a perfect fit. So they came up with this idea that
Correct.
we'll have an AI-driven engine who'll understand your personality traits, and they'll understand and they'll evaluate those against the company. So on a lot of things
Okay.
like the perfect fit is very subjective depending upon uh, things like commute time, culture in office, appraisals
Correct.
kaisa hota hai, boss ka nature
Correct.
kaisa hai, all those,
Correct.
so many things. So the engine
Correct.
is supposed to match and suggest the perfect thing. Now
Correct.
when we ask client कि ये engine को develop करने में कितना time लगेगा, so they said कि अभी 6 महीना
Uh-huh.
लगेगा. We've got an
अच्छा.
amazing development team, 6 महीना लगेगा. So he said कि are you
अच्छा.
sure that people will buy that smart solution? तो
अच्छा.
he said कि हाँ खरीदना चाहिए because it's a complete new way of doing things. I mean, it's not there in the industry
अच्छा.
at all. There's a big gap. तो we said कि ठीक है, let's do a pilot. So actually हम लोगों ने
Okay.
आइडिया स्टेज पे ही हमने सिर्फ एक नॉर्मल वेब पेज बनाया. हमने क्लाइंट को बोला कि चलो बेचते हैं ये बोल के कि AI is doing the job, you put up the people doing that job for now. Let
Okay.
manually do those things and let's sell it as
Hmm.
a AI driven solution. And we started selling it,
Hmm.
and actually people started buying it, but then validation happened. Validation happened on a lot of parameters ki what part of their service offering was, or the product offering was something which was actually loved more by the people, right? And then they
Hmm.
could actually tweak the product. We then did an MVP and all those things, but it
Hmm.
saves a lot of time, money, and
Absolutely.
resources. So yeah, so we innovate a lot of those services for different industries. Yeah, so that's how we are
Yeah,
doing it.
awesome, man. Awesome. I think, honestly, listening to you, right, I'm forgetting questions because I just got myself into that, zone where the founder is trying to figure out how to productize things and how to sell it. And I've seen a lot of now lean ways of doing things, and you guys, I think, have understood the crux of really cracking the product very early on, right? Before building it, try
Correct.
to validate it, right?
Right.
So what do you suggest or advise startup people, because a lot of startup founders, they don't take digital marketing very seriously. What they are obsessed with is product building, right? They're so obsessed with the solution that they want to offer to the market that they forget, it's a 360-degree wholesome experience, or I think more importantly, it's the priority, right? For the customer, what is the number one problem that you're solving to the
Correct.
customer is more important than building a product, right?
Correct.
So what do you suggest? What do you suggest in terms of digital marketing for startups who are starting out, and how should they start in terms of even very small effort? What should they do for digital marketing?
Right. So I'll tell you something very interesting here. The way
Mm-hmm.
market is changing
Mm-hmm.
now, the product development or the business model development has a very important component of it is which channel will be used to sell. And in fact, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of businesses are being developed looking at the channel. So, for example, I know that okay, I've got this kind of an audience on Instagram. Will my product be able to fit for that audience? And then accordingly, they develop the
Correct.
product out there. So it's a
Correct.
reverse engineering look at the channels. I think my
Right.
solution to startups would be don't hurry more for development, rather
Mm-hmm.
spend time to define the why, because unless
Mm-hmm.
the why is very clear, it doesn't really work. And if your why is clear, then I suggest that do a lean pilots without investing
Correct.
again much. Understand it, because the real dynamics out there in the market are very different than what you're planning in your room, right? So do those initial pilots first to validate all those assumptions you are taking, and unless
Mm-hmm.
you validate it successfully, don't invest,
Mm-hmm.
neither money nor time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you suggest in terms of, email marketing specifically? Do you think email marketing is still one of the most effective ways, or should people do more stories on Instagram, or Facebook Live, or YouTube channel? What is for and depending on how which industry they come from, what are better channels?
So it's very contextual, Kirti, because
Mm.
so depending upon the nature of industry, or probably the persona we are talking about, we
Mm.
then decide the tactics, and this is where the tactical part
Okay.
comes in picture, right? Uh, so, for example, maybe if you're into online coaching, if you're a life coach or a mind coach kind of a thing, channels
Mm.
like your Instagram stories and Facebook Live will work better, because then you have a better opportunity to showcase who you are, to really break those
Correct.
barriers of how good that coach is in terms of the way he speaks, the way he solves the problems, and all those things. So lives can
Correct.
probably do a good job there. But
Correct.
maybe for a B2B industry, or maybe for an enterprise product, if you're selling, now that needs a lot of nurturing. And in that
Mm-hmm.
kind of scenarios, probably email marketing kind of automation works much better, right? So
Mm-hmm.
contextually, depending upon who we are trying to reach out to, how we are going to be creating an impact, the
Mm-hmm.
journey is decided.
Okay. 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 A lot of people, Gajanan, I come across startup founders who are obsessed with, data collection in terms of, अरे मुझे email addresses चाहिए, phone numbers चाहिए, email addresses चाहिए, phone numbers चाहिए, and I'm like, okay, how are you going to target? I mean, a lot of people buy bulk SMSs, bulk email addresses, without really looking into who they are going to be selling to. What is your take on that? You've come across a lot of these people, and you must have also tried a hand at this. I'm guessing very early on in your social champs or wherever, in terms of college kabhi and all of that. What is your take on this strategy?
Correct. So, see, data data collection is not wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but what's more important is that clarity of thought and the value offering. So, for example, I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you an example of if I'm doing a data collection, how will I do it? So, let's say if I'm
Mm-hmm.
planning to push my digital strategy consulting to say healthcare, then I would
Mm-hmm.
try to be very clear in terms of what do I mean by healthcare. Am I talking about the hospitals out there? Am I talking about laboratories? I'm talking about whatever
Mm-hmm.
my definition is. And now
Mm-hmm.
let's say if I'm very clear about if I'm going to be talking to say hospitals, then I'll try to make my mind very clear about what kind of hospitals. 50
Mm-hmm.
bedded hospital, 100 bedded hospital, 500 bedded hospital. I'll try to be very clear
Correct.
about is it going to be the IVF facilities, is it going to be the anything like a joint replacement related solution. So I'll try to be very clear about it. So now let's say if I'm going for IVF facilities, I know that my customers are more than 100 bedded hospital because they'll have appetite to buy my services. Then I'll try
Mm-hmm.
to create a service definition for that specific segment. Now my language,
Mm-hmm.
everything will be tailored so much so that they will be able to relate. So for example, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving you a story of an entrepreneur, you're able to relate because you're coming from that background out, right?
Right.
So then
Right.
storytelling comes in picture. Now,
Right.
then I'll do my database acquisition for only that specific segment. And then I'll do all that magic of maybe using email campaign, maybe using that email database with Facebook advertising, or maybe using WhatsApp and all. But the idea there is that I'm then creating a really value driven assets, or it can be an ebook, it can be a video, it can be anything, but that creates an impact. So I'll not really
Okay.
sell my services, but I'll make them
Mhm.
understand the value of it. So it then
Okay.
creates a pull. So I
Awesome.
would say it's not bad to get into database thing, but don't spam.
Mhm.
Be very
Right,
clear.
right. Spamming is become the most. I think a lot of digital marketers think spamming is digital marketing. I try. I'm not an expert, but I keep telling a lot of people that it's all about storytelling. It's about the proper messaging rather than just spamming anybody, because relevance is really important, right?
Correct, correct.
So what's the big picture? What is Social Champs vision for the next 5 to 10 years? What do you see Social Champs happening?
Yeah, so we are trying to grow on multiple fronts actually. So there are a lot of things happening in parallel. One of the ideas
Hmm.
to get into a larger space of consulting and the venturing into a new business called eSherpa is all into market research. Now that's
Yeah.
an extension to what we're offering, and probably put together, it's going to be offering a very larger solution to brands out there, and that's a way of we differentiating from uh, the way digital industry is moving. Likewise, we have put up an
Hmm.
office in United States now. So gradually, a part of sales efforts will be put in from there also. Uh,
Okay.
Likewise, we are trying our hands in a lot of different startups as well. So one of our startup called Two Roots has got funding from state government of Rajasthan. We're doing some
Oh
amazing
wow.
stuff there. So and somewhere deep down, I have this wish of starting my own seed accelerator program, but God knows when it will materialize. But
Nice, nice.
that's what is the ultimate thought.
I'll be the first guy there to apply for your cohort. So so nice here. Awesome, awesome. I think a lot of good stuff is going on with
Sorry.
Social Champs, and you do quite a good in terms of quite a good work in terms of conversions and bringing that return on investment for a lot of brands I know. So last question. In fact, second last question. How is because since we are in lockdown and stuff, how is COVID-19 treating? How has it impacted your business? You are already a digital company, so I'm sure there is not much that has happened in your workspace and all of that. So, but how you guys has it increased your business, or same things before
No,
as
so
before pre-COVID?
right. No, see, there's definitely an impact, especially
Mm-hmm.
on the international revenue which was coming up. So, a major portion of our international revenue was coming from US, UK, and Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the
Mm-hmm.
countries which were hit most. So, there we
Right.
had probably a lot of negative impact on business.
Mm-hmm.
But the domestic businesses are thriving. It's in fact growing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I see this as an opportunity because of COVID. Uh, the A very strong reason has been given to people now to move on digital, because now
Yeah.
for quite a long time the traditional marketing is not working anymore, because people cannot go out, right? And
Mm.
that's the reason now people are trying their hands on digital, and they're seeing the results, which was otherwise very difficult for us to convince them. And I'm seeing a larger picture that probably post COVID, the industry is going to be growing further for us.
Right.
Likewise, I must say that from mindset perspective, for we as an agency, it's a good learning, because we really never tried our hands on doing work from home kind of a thing. We in fact had a policy of not allowing people to do that, rather take leaves. But it changed our minds, and
Right.
thanks to people, the entire team, they're really putting hard efforts. The work is going very smooth.
Yeah. I think change is the only constant,
True.
and eventually we all accept the change, and I call it back foot. right? We have to take one step back and just see how things are going to be, how we're going to reinvent the whole way of working and how we cater to clients, our customers, and all of that. So, last question for you, Gajanan. What is the message that you want to give out to entrepreneurs, to digital marketers, people who are stuck and confused right now, even in this situation? What is one message that you would like to give from your learnings of more than over a decade?
So my message to all would be, stick to your passion. Being an entrepreneur or being a student. So from student perspective, they're getting into digital, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Very few students we could found are very clear about what they want to achieve and what they want to do. Likewise for entrepreneurs.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Finding an opportunity or gap in the market is going to be a constant. You'll always find a new opportunity or new gaps. I mean, that's how the market is, right? But
Correct.
what's more important is that whether your passion is aligned to that opportunity. If not, then it
Correct.
never continues for long. So
Correct.
yeah.
So stick to the passion and try to align yourself with the market, with the opportunity gap, and all of that.
Correct.
Awesome, awesome. So it's been awesome to have you on the show, Gajanan. I think a lot of good stuff that you've talked about is going to be useful for people. I really appreciate you taking out time and talking and coming on Coffee with Kirti. Thank you so much, and I
All
wish you all the very best. Thank
all
you
my
so much.
pleasure, Kirti. Thank you so much for hosting me. Really loved it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Gajanan. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Bye bye.
Bye bye.